Hello there.
Hello there.
Today I decided to make a video about a very simple question that I have asked myself in the past. I thought it would be an interesting topic to talk about in the sense that I have been through it, so I could give some insight, probably. And that question is, why be an entrepreneur? Let's start from the very beginning, which is, what is an entrepreneur? So by doing a quick search on Google, you can find that an entrepreneur is basically someone who builds a business or businesses and takes financial risks in the hopes of profiting out of it. Now, most people will say one very specific thing, which is the main counter argument of anyone that is against entrepreneurship, which is, why do it when there is so much stress and anxiety and responsibilities involved? And the truth is that it's definitely not for everyone. Not many people are built for it in terms of stress tolerance and problem-solving ability. That's a really big one. So now that we have those things down, what an entrepreneur is and what the counter-argument for not being one is, let's go from the beginning, and I will try to kind of convey how I was thinking and how I'm still thinking when talking about this thing. First and foremost, it very much depends on your aspirations and your goals for where you want to end up in life. It's not for everyone only because it's a very different path and a very much more difficult one. And there is a good reason for that. You are interacting with people that not necessarily want to interact with you, and this oftentimes creates a lot of conflict, let's call it. And some people don't have the stomach for that, and that's all right. Like, not everyone is built for everything. There is a lot of stress tolerance included. Like, I believe that the more stress you can tolerate in general, the more successful you will be. But some people just can't handle the whole thing. It's normal. It's nothing out of the ordinary. So if you get a clear sight of your goals and you decide that a normal kind of, I don't want to call it normal, just an everyday life, what the average person decides to settle for, if you see that that's not for you, you can't just follow the path that everyone else is following and expect to get the goals you want. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? So if you see your goals and they're higher, you need to aim higher. And that's going to include you doing things out of the ordinary, extraordinary, you'd say. The second is the key difference between the average job and being an entrepreneur and having your own business, I suppose. And that's wages versus a profit. And I'm going to quote Jim Rohn here, and that's that wages make you a living and profits make you a fortune. Now, you might want a living, and that's all right. But many people, myself included, don't want a living. They want a fortune, not just for themselves, but for their loved ones as well. So that's the second very important key difference on why you would want to become an entrepreneur. The third is kind of more statistical, because it's a statistic. And that is that most people will settle for a job that they absolutely hate only because they are scared to take an extra step, and not necessarily because they don't have the capability of achieving the higher goal that they might want to set. Now, that's a very scary statistic for me. Let me just look it up real quick and see what the statistic actually is. Wow, that's insane. The statistic says that a significant portion of workers are unhappy or disengaged, with figures often cited around 80% feeling dissatisfied. Are you hearing this right now? Do you understand how many people, 80% of people in the workforce, that would be like almost 3 billion or even more people that are going to a workplace every day, hating their life and not doing anything about it. That's a scary enough reality for me to even fathom, to be like, no, not for me, thank you. The next one is very much more personal. It's not exactly like that. It has reached the point now that it's kind of cliche, but it is what I can resemble to, and I find it quite logical. And that is that we really only get one spin around here, and not wanting to experience the whole spectrum of life, I suppose, I find that a little, I wanna say, like, pessimistic. And stay with me, it will make sense, I hope. I find it pessimistic because the people that settle for the bare minimum, let's say, are oftentimes the people that say that, well, all of that doesn't matter because eventually you're gonna die. And I'm like, yeah, sure, what does that have anything to do with anything? Yeah, I'm gonna die, so should I just lay down and wait for my time to reach the kingdom of heavens? Or something. I just don't get the people that are so bitter for anything. Like, I don't... Let me quote someone here, and it is Luke Belmar. And one thing that really did make sense to me is that life isn't really about experiencing happiness. Like, we should get the notion that life is about being happy all the time. That's wrong. You should be striving to experience the full spectrum of emotions, like sadness, happiness, love, anything that is included in the package you came here for, I suppose. It sounds like too much, but whatever. If you are sad, that's alright, experience it, don't let it drag you down, but realize that the experience that made you sad most likely taught you something as well. Any kind of emotion that you have has a purpose, and it will not last. Be it happiness, sadness, love, anxiety, stress, anything. One thing that is really in my mind, and I wanted to get it engraved somewhere on a ring probably, but I didn't yet. And the story goes like this. Solomon asked for his servant to bring him something, I believe it was a ring, or he may have asked for anything. And when he was happy and he would look at this item, he would become sad. But when he was sad and he looked at it, he would become happy. And he brought him a ring that had engraved inside the phrase, "This too shall pass." And that's pretty much what I base my life around these days. Any emotion, be it good or bad, will pass, and we should enjoy every one of them because each one makes the other worth existing. If you weren't sad sometimes, you wouldn't appreciate being happy. Like, they are equally important. Now, the next and very prominent thing in the entrepreneurial world is the entrepreneurial seizure. And that's something I believe I had happen to me recently. And that's basically the effect that you can't or won't be an employee. You can't handle someone being over you and giving you instructions when you know you could do better. And that's that happened to me in the summer because I had a second job besides my parents' business, which I'm basically a boss in, and I had a boss there. Now, nothing wrong with him per se, because he was just doing his job, but as for me, I just completely despised being told what to do as an order. Like, I can't explain it correctly. I was there, I was fighting to keep me high in my eyes, let's say, because I was doing nothing basically productive. I was a waiter. On top of that, I had someone tell me what to do in a job that required no brain cells to do it. I just said no more this summer, and that's why I've been pushing so hard to do anything, because I have promised to myself that I won't go through it again, which gives me around 5 more months to have something to show that would justify me not working again in the summer. And the last one I want to talk about is a hot take, actually, and that's more problems equal more excitement. I went through a logical loophole, and it was that life, in general, is an endless loop of problem solving. Anyway, no matter what you decide to do, you will face problems, and you will either be prepared or not. Many people like to exaggerate their problems and make them seem like it's the end of the universe or something, but I believe that once you start actually having real life problems, like for me recently, it has been legal stuff, taxes and all that kind of stuff. I just started making money and I need to legalize the whole process. So when they start complaining because their friend cancelled on them because he can't go out after all, I'm like, bruv, you need bigger problems. And the actual hot take that I wanted to talk about is, as I said, you will have problems anyway. Why not be excited about it? Why not flip your mindset and instead of being anxious, you start feeling excited? Because fear and excitement have no distinction in our mind, actually. That's like a biological fact. Instead of seeing an obstacle and being like, oh shit, we're in trouble, just shift it and say a problem means that I'm probably often moving to the right direction. That's why shit is happening to me. And when I finally solve it, I will have taken the knowledge of how this is solved. So in case it ever comes up again, I'm prepared. And also, I'm one step closer to whatever I'm chasing, which is the most important part when you try to achieve anything. To finish up here, what is the takeaway that I want you to take from here? Not many people will think things through, and that's what I want you to do. We've been relentlessly indoctrinated for decades that if you don't have academically related goals, you are basically worthless. And that's why they constantly undermine people's dreams to the point that people are afraid to dream at this point. I've heard of many people that don't have any dreams because they're afraid of making them. If you have a higher goal, which is harder to achieve, you automatically have some kind of responsibility over that because it's yours. You want to make it happen, no one else will do it for you. If you follow the process of building a dream, you risk failing, so that will bring negative emotions and it all goes down from there, right? Just make sure that wherever you land, it's your choice and not someone else's. That's the main point. I presented the options. Now the tough part falls upon you. No matter what you choose, it's fine, but you have to choose. You can't just be like a feather in the wind, like Forrest Gump. I talked a lot today, again, fucking hell. Those views are going to be way down once more. But whatever, thank you for watching. If you did this far, I suppose you didn't, but it's alright. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.